Hello, this is Rich, and I wanted to overview this concept of the Advanced Technology Studies program proposal real quick. This is the page you're looking at. You can access this page at labs.greenbush.us/tech-studies. But what we've got here is just the main page. Really, the goal of this is to provide a student-directed, tech mentor-led learning experience, really oriented towards the 21st century and STEM-based skills. And at the bottom of this entry page, you'll notice that it does have a section, Skills of the Future, kind of a brief explanation of why we think this is important, some of the skills, and so forth. So here on the main page, you'll see we've got links to pricing, and this is just kind of something Tracy and I brainstormed, and Denise as well. This price we'll obviously tinker with, but I also list here that since we are running the technology leadership this year through this portal, and also the game lab that we're doing with Humboldt through this portal, so I listed that there are other options, and we'll have to kind of think about what those options are and pricing as well. But here are the three basic labs that we've come up with. The Game Builders Lab, which we're piloting in Humboldt. The Robotics Lab, which we're still looking for funding for these WeDo sets because we will need those. Still need to talk to Pittsco too about how we could potentially resell these WeDo kits for kids that do it completely virtual in the future. And then the Technology Leadership Project, which we've been doing for years now. I think this is the 5th year we've been doing immersive education and 3D stuff. So those are the three. We can also go here. I want to also go to the framework and kind of discuss that a little bit. We mentioned here that it is powered by a Moodle and Adobe Connect. The Adobe Connect is going to be for the synchronous face-to-face meetings that the mentors will have once a week with the students. I list the tool sets here because there will be one common tool set with all the labs, and it'll be Scratch. And so when we get to the classes portal, I'll show you kind of what we're thinking there. Just some real quick potential dates for the 5 sessions. Some quick examples that we'll be able to use to lead the student discussion, because I'm going to assume a lot of times these students won't have ideas in terms of what their project might want to be, so we'll lead them to think about how that might work and what their project might be. If we go to the lab and classes portal, this is it. You'll see it. This is basically Moodle. We've got the 3 labs: technology, the robotics, the game lab. And then we've got the 2 core courses I mentioned a few seconds ago, that Scratch will be a core tool that we'll use for all 3 labs. We've also got the labs orientation, so all students will start there. Then they'll go to the Scratch course. They'll take that, and the reason why is Scratch is the very first tool we go over in technology leadership. It will also be the interface we build with the WeDo kits on the robotics lab, and then it'll be our interface for building games in the game lab. It's a very versatile tool, and it's an awesome place to start for the kids. The technology, really the difference between the 3, obviously robotics and game lab are kind of a little easier to see the distinctions. Robotics lab kids will be working with sensors, motors, and things of that nature, and creating a automated machine, a robot. And then the game lab, the direction will be creating a game. Now the technology leadership lab will focus on several projects with a common theme. So we will do things like create a game, and if we have the WeDo kits by then, we will do things like a small robotics session, and then we'll gravitate over and we'll work with SketchUp. We'll do a lot of into the 3D environments as well. So with the robotics lab, as we're doing the prototyping, We will do a lot of the prototyping in Scratch. We will possibly do some of the prototyping in one of the 3D environments, OpenSim or EduSim as well, prior to getting to the actual building piece. In Game Lab, the entire session will take place, either sketching it out on one of our electronic whiteboards that the kids will use in Adobe Connect, or Pixlr. So there's a few. One's synchronous, one's asynchronous, but we can get into that as we discuss this face-to-face later. But then the Game Lab project itself will be created in the Scratch interface. So in a nutshell, that's kind of what we're thinking. That is the main portal and the classes portal.